Today's High Performance Podcast is brought to you by Josh Phegan Digital. It's where you'll find our revolutionary blueprint course. There's only one place that you can go from zero to hero over a weekend by watching the incredible blueprint. It's everything you'll need to be that $1 million agent. Prospecting, listing, negotiation, and growth. Broken up into short 15-minute pieces, skip to the content you need now or watch from the beginning to end. Only on Josh Phegan Digital. Welcome to High Performance, the podcast featuring Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, today we're going to talk about, and we're going to continue that theme, about what we're going to call discipline and focus. And there is a completely different level of discipline and a completely different level of focus that you bring to the game. And I want to talk a bit about it because there are people in the industry where they are probably going to achieve a sale a month. And there are other people in the industry that might get to a point that can achieve a sale a week. You've had some months this year where you and your personal team have achieved a sale a day. Now, when you go to think about that, there's a completely different level of discipline and focus that someone who's doing a sale a month is going to bring to the table compared to someone who's going to drive a team to do a sale a day. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you see as being the core disciplines and what sort of focus you're going to need to have if you want to drive up your volume from doing a sale a month to actually getting into a sale a week and then ultimately into a sale a day?
Thanks, Josh. I think firstly, obviously, you've got to have the desire to want to do that, and that's a goal that you want to hit. Not everyone, most people are happy with the sale a month or a sale every couple of weeks. So I think you've got to make sure you want to know where you want to get to. And I think a few people have said to me over the years is another agent I had a meeting with this week said, you were obviously in it not for the money, but for the longevity and, to build your own brand and database and whatnot. And that's really how I did start. I didn't have, I want to earn X. It's not about, I know how much money I earn, but it's not about going into that and having that mindset, I've got to earn this, I've got to do that. I think that's the wrong way to go. I remember the first focus I had for many years, I'd have a Fred Gross sheet in front of me on how many calls I made, how many people were in my database, how many appraisals I had, how many appointments. I did that for years.
Which is all about behaviours and activity.
Yeah,
right?
So I think that behaviour is probably then ingrained in you, and then you just keep doing it and compounds, and then all of a sudden you're doing more deals and you're not you're in it to service people and, and help them and do great buyer work and you get more out of it. And then all of a sudden a few things happen, you do a couple of amazing sales and it just sort of flourishes from there. So I think that it's changing your focus into what you do day to day, that one day if you do everything right and you actually know what you're doing and why you're doing it. I don't think many agents know what they're doing and why they're doing it, and not having the mindset getting someone in your database today is going to happen tomorrow. It could be 10 years, could be 20 years, but you service them and then they end up feeling obligated to use you, no one else. That's sort of where you want to get to. You want to get to a point where there's no other agents in the listings and you just sign them up on the spot. So that's I think that's when you're the best agent, when you're just uncontested. And I think that does come down to how your mindset works on how you what you do in your day-to-day practices to keep yourself focused on the end goal, which is being in it for a long time and making sure that it's not an immediate sale. These things just take years and years and years, but if you have all these balls in the air and there's someone selling in 20 years, there's someone selling next week, there's someone selling next month, and you've got 500 of them happening, which is probably what we've got in the back end of our database, things just keep dropping, and but that takes like I said, many years. So if you've got the focus on knowing that, I'm not rushing this, I'm not desperate, I'm not trying to make it happen today, I don't have commission breath, I'm just here to to service as many people as possible, they'll start coming to you.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was reading the latest Steph Curry bio, and it's also a whole conversation around what he was doing to go and do the 5,000 practice shots before, so that when he actually got to that point of flow and he had to make that final 3-pointer that was the difference about winning the championship or not, he could do it with effortless glide because he knew exactly how to go to set it up.
Yeah.
And it's also that conversation that I've watched you that, foundationally, you just actually love playing the game. Who would we call about that, and what would we say to them about that, and who would want to go and buy that and therefore go to sell theirs?
It's not like I'm building this massive database that I've got no relationships with. I'm actually building that database because those people should know about that listing in Bronte, and if they sell that, they'll probably go and buy that in Paddo, and if they do that, then they might go buy another investment over here in Bondi. And really thinking more clearly about how you actually go to work as a team. So you're really keen to want to make sure that those people inside of your team have that same level of focus. And I've seen you where you'll grab a notepad and just write down the next 20 people that you know that you want to go to call, or you'll write down very specific things on actions that you want Prue to go to take to make sure that you can get properties sold and get them transacted. And now there are other people in your team that are also making the plays. So you see Prue doing that thing to make sure we need to get that letter out, or we need to make sure we've got that call list, or it's certain patterns throughout the course of the year. You go, okay, great. Now I'm going to call every single person that's actually bought from me between now and December 15. So that way you're building for your forecast for 2026. So it's not a surprise when everyone else is like, oh, I'm tired, it's end of year. You're re-energized and recommitting to what you know is the discipline that makes Alexander Phillips what he is inside of the market today.